Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and today is a pickups video. I know I haven't put out a video in a while, well besides, my mobile ones, the Journey Onward series, and about what I'm playing throughout the week, and there's going to be another one of those coming this week just as well. But I figured I'd go ahead and do a pickups video. I haven't really had any real thoughts or ideas of certain things that I wanted to do over a certain period of time, and I was like, well, I've actually amassed a new collection, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and end up making a new pickups video. And forgive me if I might leave some out that I've got previously, but I've tried to accumulate everything together of what I'm going to show you guys. And also, please forgive me if I end up showing something that I did in a previous video. Considering the fact I haven't put out a video in a while, I actually try to go back to the previous pickups videos to see what I put out and what I haven't put out. And while I was going through my previous one, it was about 30-some minutes long, and I'm like, I put it on fast mode and went through it. I didn't go all the way through it. I'm like, this is probably what I got this new, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I have. And forgive me if you ended up seeing something recently. Like I said, I've just tried to amass everything together, and this is what, the conclusion that I've came to of everything that I've got new and recently, I guess I should say. So we'll go ahead and start out with games. I have some graphic novels here, and I have some games and one movie, as a matter of fact. Can you guess what it is? Well, probably not. But it is gaming related, so I will leave it at that. But the first game that we're going to show is Tekken 2. Now, obviously, this isn't Black Label. I don't care about Black Label. I don't care about, oh, this is the original, blah, blah, blah. It's the same damn game. If it's the game, it's the game. I don't care if it's green. I don't care if it's black. The fact of the matter is, I own the damn thing. And I'm going to keep it. I'm not planning to sell it, so there you go. But, yep, this is it. It's complete in package. Actually, I believe I got it cheaper at the store than I would have gotten it off PSN because, sometimes fuck digital sales. Or not sales, but products or whatever. And, yeah, of course, just like all greatest hits, they end up having they don't have... That's okay. That's the one thing that I never really liked about the greatest hits thing on the PS1 was the fact that they never had the original artwork on there. That's probably the only thing that pissed me off. The whole green thing, I can deal with. But when it comes to this, I'm like, just have the original artwork on there. It was so much more badass. I don't know why they did that. I thought it was really stupid, to be quite honest. But yeah, I mean, the disc is in immaculate condition. It absolutely is. But knowing the fact that I ended up mentioning before that I was never really a big fighting game kind of fan, but the Tekken series was just one of those fighting games, series that I played back on PlayStation 1 that really got me more into fighting than I was in the 90s, back with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all of that. And I was like, you know what, if I can get them really cheap on physical release, I'll definitely go ahead and do it because it's just the nostalgia of being able to have it. And plus, when I end up going over to friends' places or they come over to my place and we can just pop out Tekken and, relive some nostalgia because those are definitely some of, the best fighting games back in the day, without a doubt. So I do want to collect the Tekken series, well, at least the ones on PlayStation 1 for sure. But anyways, I actually kind of have a list of the different ones right here that are from various consoles, as a matter of fact, all stacked up nice and neat, for the most part. The next one that I have here is Star Fox Adventures on GameCube. Heard a lot about this, heard it was really good. Some people hated it, some people liked it, some people loved it. Whatever, man. I got it for a really good deal. I don't know. I think I probably got it for it was anywhere between $4 and $7, and I mean, it's complete too. So it's not like it's just, oh, we're missing the booklet and we only got the disc in here or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I've always been interested in wanting to give the Star Fox series more of a chance. Which actually, as a matter of fact, in this stack, I ended up getting Star Fox Zero that came with Star Fox Guard, and I didn't buy it at full price. It is brand new, but I bought it at $30. So somebody had it brand new and they were selling it for $30, which is all well and good with me because from what I've heard, people aren't really liking it. Some did, some don't. The people really complain about the controls, and I've kind of experienced that a bit, to be quite honest. But I think with a little bit more getting used to the controls, I'll be able to enjoy it much more. But from what I've played so far, I am enjoying it, but I'm still in the first area. I haven't really had a chance to really dive in because I've been playing other games just as well. The next one is on Nintendo 3DS, and that is Bravely Second End Layer. Now, this one the game isn't even in there, and because it's in my 3DS, and obviously there's no booklet because game developers nowadays are like, fuck booklets. We can put out $200 collector's editions, but I'll be damned if we put out a little booklet that has paper in it showing what to do in the freaking game and giving backstory and lore and characters and all that. But oh yeah, whore out that $200 collector's edition. It's stupid. But anyways, I've really been liking Bravely Second in Layer. I like the first one, but I like this one much better, as a matter of fact, with all the different new things that they've added to it and knowing how you can make choices throughout the game. And it's kind of a little bit of a hindrance in a ways, because those choices that you make, at least from what I've experienced so far, is the fact that you pick what type of class that you would like to have in your party, to be able to use with your party. You have one, and it's like part of a story. It's either probably made it part of the main story or like a side story. It's like, okay, you can choose this, or you can choose this in this story, but whichever path you choose is the class that you're going to get. That's like the person you'll face against to get their class. And that's actually one of the battles that I'm at right now. I got my ass kicked, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should go with the other class just so I can go ahead and advance forward, but go ahead and get this class. I may do that, or I may go grind a little bit and level up a little bit more before I can go back and get this class. I forgot exactly what the classes were. I think one of them was like a sword master, and the other one was like a summoner or something. I have no freaking clue. I think it was like sword master and summoner or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, there's definitely been one of those great series that really just harkens back to an old school time in terms of RPGs, but it's having new advancements in it, which is what I really love. I love seeing new mixed with the old. I do. I mean, I can't really get into that super really old school archaic hardcore stuff. That just turns me away. It may have been cool when I was younger, but we've advanced a lot more nowadays in terms of technology and gameplay and games and genres and all of that. And if it goes back to that, I'm like, hell with it. I can't deal with it anymore. So luckily, that's good that it's harkened back to those old school RPG times, but at the exact same time, it's having new advancements in it, which is good because it brings in the old and you know, older fans of said JRPG series in the past, and brings in new fans as well of like a newer generation, which is really cool. And there's obviously little options and things that you can tweak in there, like you can turn random battles all the way down or all the way up or somewhere in between, and there's just a lot of different options that you can do, which really makes it accessible, and that's one of the things that I really love about it. Haven't beat the first one just yet, but in this one, there was one thing that happened. There was a cutscene that happened in it. I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but let me just say that it used the gyro sensor. And that was honestly one of the greatest moments that I've ever had using a part of the 3DS that I never used or never thought that I would use. But it was in a cutscene, and I was actually moving it around and looking around in things in the cutscene and things that were happening and everything that was going on. It just, to me, it really immersed me, and I really did like that. Definitely, for sure. You know, because there's a whole lot of gimmicks and crap that come out nowadays on systems and newer systems. It's just like with the PlayStation Vita, and it's like, oh, we got these touch screens and these touch pads, and what happens? You end up using them for a little bit on like a first few games or something that comes out, and then they don't even have any more touch screen or touchpad functionality anymore in terms of later games that come out. It was just all like a gimmick. You know, it kind of really seems to me like it's happening that way nowadays, at least with older Vita titles. Talking about the Vita, because talking about the Vita, that's the next thing I'm going to actually talk about here, as a matter of fact, which I didn't even unplug the damn thing, but I'm going to unplug it now. Damn it, I can't believe I didn't think to do this shit when I got the damn thing. But that is the PlayStation TV. This is an amazing little device. To me, this is honestly probably the best thing to happen to the PlayStation Vita, or one of the best things to happen to the PlayStation Vita. I ended up getting this for like $20-some. You know, I didn't buy it for like the original price of $40. I got it for like 20-something. I don't know if it seems to me like it's brand new, like especially the way that it was packaged when it got shipped to me, or it might have been refurbished. I'm not necessarily sure if it is or not. But it's honestly an amazing little device, and what it is, you can play Vita games on your TV. And that's the thing, I couldn't really get into playing my Vita. As you can see in one of my previous videos, I can't really get into playing my Vita in my home. If I'm like out on my break at work, or out somewhere with friends or whatever, and I have my handheld with me with my Vita, yeah, that'll be all well and good that I could play it and that I could use it. But at home, this is excellent. It absolutely is really awesome. Yes, you can't play the touchscreen and the touchpad games on this, which is no big deal to me, because to be quite honest, that stuff irks the piss out of me. I mean, yeah, I'll use it on my Vita if I have to in order to advance. Like, say, with Uncharted Golden Abyss, it's aggravating because I can't play it on my big screen. But at the exact same time, I'm like, well, you know, you just got to sacrifice some things sometimes to be able to have things like this. And it is a very awesome accessory or little system to have in your home. And you can also watch stuff like Crackle on there as well. I don't think you can watch Netflix, which is kind of weird, but it basically has the exact same interface as you would expect from the Vita itself. But it's just, you can either use the PlayStation 3 controller or you can use the PlayStation 4 controller, and you use the charge cable to be able to charge it on there. You can use your memory card from your Vita on there, and they have a little thing in the side where you can end up putting the game on the side of it, in the side there. Of course, on the back there, you have where you put the memory card right there. Well, that's not it. I'm pointing at the wrong damn thing. It's right there where you can put the memory card in, and it's really awesome. I've been having a whole lot of fun playing Tales of Hearts R on my big screen. I'm just, oh, this thing is so amazing. It really is great. So I really do hope that more Vita games that come out, if they do, regardless of whether they're digital or physical, really end up just taking in the fact of, hey, we need to go ahead and end up getting rid of this touchscreen, touchpad crap and go ahead and just have us use the regular controls. That way we can use it on PlayStation TV, because I feel like if Sony wants to sell some of those things, they would do what was best for business and actually just take away that touchscreen and touchpad crap, because to be quite honest, I hate that. I hate gimmicks like that, man. I do. Touchscreens are really finicky. I hate having a touchscreen on a phone, for God's sakes. Matter of fact, I have a video about that on this channel, so go check it out, why I hate touchscreens on phones. But you have to accept it pretty much, because QWERTY keyboards are kind of gone out of style, and you know, it's just aggravating beyond all belief. It's just not, sometimes I just want to take a hammer and smash the son of a bitch. I hate touchscreens. I really do, because they're so finicky. It's just, God, it drives you freaking nuts sometimes. It really does. Somebody should put a petition out for that. You know, have more phones actually have real buttons that you can press instead of screens all the time that can lock up, and then you got to restart your phone and all that crap. Anyways, that's a different thing altogether. Let's get back to the pickup, shall we? Yeah, let's go ahead. I need to plug that back up, but I'll do that after we do this video. Next, I'm going to end up talking to you about the movie, and that is Hardcore Henry. If you look on this channel, I ended up doing a review on it, so go check it out. Excellent movie, really awesome. There was one scene in there that really made me cringe, and I was like, why did they put this scene in here? I don't know why they put this scene in here. It has nothing to do with the story of the characters or whatever. It was like just some extra crap they added in there, which I thought was completely stupid to have in there. But anyways, you guys may know what I mean when you actually see the movie. But yeah, I ended up watching the special features on it, which is pretty much not really much of nothing, to be quite honest. The main reason I got it was obviously for the movie itself, because it's just so insane. But yeah, definitely, guys, if you guys haven't checked out Hardcore Henry, then definitely go ahead and do that, because coming from, you know, obviously coming from a gamer's perspective, and of course if you're watching this freaking video, then you're a gamer, then it's definitely a movie worth watching, without a doubt. It's a non-stop thrill rush, without a shadow of a doubt. I'd love it if they ended up making more movies like this, or maybe even made a sequel, so that would definitely be awesome, for sure. Let's see here. The next one that I got here is Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. Yeah, that's it. And the thing is this was actually released on PlayStation 3. And apparently this is like a remaster or something like that, and they ended up releasing on PlayStation 4. I knew it was on PlayStation 3, and I thought it was part of a series. I don't know if it is or not, don't quote me on that. But they ended up releasing on PlayStation 4, and I went ahead and got it on PS4 because I was really looking for another JRPG to get into. And I've heard really good things about this, and I honestly really do like it. I think it's cool, but I just wish that there was more exploration to it. Like, you end up going to these animated anime cutscenes, and you end up traversing as you're going through dialogue with characters. And, of course, then when you go out, you don't actually go to an open world map. You just go to certain sections in the game that you'll run around in and fight enemies and level up, and you know, the battle system is actually really cool too. And it's a cool game, but it seems like it's just really lacking in that. I don't know if it had to deal with funds or something like that, because it's actually Compile Hearts ends up doing it, and there's also like Idea Factory that ends up having something to do with it too. But if you look on the inside, there's actually an alternate cover, which is actually done by I forgot what the guy's name was. I apologize, but he ended up doing artwork for the older Final Fantasy series as well, so there's also an alternate cover that's on the inside of there. Of course, the back of that is the same as the back to that, but it's just the main cover itself. But I like more the anime. I like. It's like saying anime with an Australian accent. Anime. Uh, um, but yeah, I ended up sticking with the anime cover because I just obviously it just seems like it sticks more with the game itself, especially when you get in and you start playing it. So it's definitely a fun game, definitely really good. But to be quite honest, if I knew what it was now, if I knew then of what I know now of what it was going to be, I would have waited for a price drop. To be quite honest, because even though the voice acting is cool and the gameplay is cool and all of this and that, I just wanted there to be more exploration, and there isn't really that, at least from what I've seen so far. But everything else that's in it is really great. So if you guys are looking for a new JRPG, then definitely go ahead and check it out. I don't think I would end up paying $60 for it. Maybe 30, yeah, 30 or 40, something like that, but definitely not 60. But anyways, on to the next one is one of my all-time favorite games, and that is The Last of Us. I have it on PlayStation 4, obviously, since this is it. But I ended up having it on PlayStation. Well, there's nothing on the inside there, but just the disc itself. I ended up having this on PlayStation 3, played it, beat it, loved it to death. And then I heard it was coming out for PlayStation 4, and it was at that point in time I was like, okay, well, I really want to go ahead and get into this now, with this remaster stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just sell the third one. Sell the. So I wish there was a third one. Hell, I wish there was a second one, which probably is in development as we speak. But I had it on the PlayStation 3, played it, loved it, and I went ahead and sold it to put money towards this. But then I ended up realizing, okay, well, there was other games I wanted to buy at that point in time, and this wasn't out yet, so I went ahead and got those. And then I didn't have the money to put towards this, so I ended up waiting for this to go on a sale for me to be able to get it again. And it's definitely one of my all-time favorite games, without a doubt, in terms of gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of graphics, in terms of characters, everything. It's just great, and fuck people who end up saying that it's overrated. Anything is overrated if it gets really popular. Whatever, man. It's a Sony exclusive title, and it's great, and it's one of the reasons that people should buy a PlayStation 4 so they can end up experiencing something like that. I mean, that's why it says, oh, it's overrated. Well, it's one of the. I mean, a lot of people would end up saying that Halo is overrated too, but it's like one of the main reasons that people buy Xbox. Well, it's not my reason because I don't care anything about the Halo series, to be quite honest. But I got it for other exclusives, But anyways, whatever. You know what I've said about opinions and assholes. I think theirs don't stick. I can't talk, but it was whatever. The next one that I got was a game that I never really thought that I would really get because I was like, well, this is kind of stupid, and I was just like, I don't ever think I'll ever play it. I think it's really dumb. Maybe I would try it out at some point, and I kind of stopped to think. I was like, I'm not into the Far Cry series. I don't care about the Far Cry series. I played very little of 3 and played a little bit of 4, and I'm just like, it's just run of the gamut stuff. It's just like nothing really changes. I didn't even beat Far Cry Blood Dragon. I'm just like, it's kind of pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, it has an interesting art style and all that, but there just hasn't really been any real changes to this series, really. It kind of just follows a formulaic formula, whatever. Excuse me, it just irks me. But the thing that I'm talking about is Far Cry Primal. Got it on PS4, and honestly, it's actually pretty good. Why am I even showing you the inside? Game developers don't believe in booklets nowadays because they're fucking idiots. But yeah, Far Cry Primal, it's interesting, really cool idea. Honestly, I do like it. It kind of can get tedious from time to time, especially with all those fucking animals. Oh, gosh, I can't stand all these freaking animals. All the freaking time, man. Always attacking your ass. Makes me wish the grenades existed back then and just blow their asses to kingdom come. Which actually, technically, there is some grenades in this, from what I've known so far, but it's like bee bombs or something, so you can throw like a sack of bees and end up stinging your enemies. I don't know. But anyways, from some of the other videos that I've seen, there's been a whole lot of different like weapons and things that you can go through in this game, and different upgrades. I saw like one where you can end up shooting like 2 arrows at once, and then there was one where I think you have like a slingshot or something. I don't know. But yeah, as I progress onward through that, I think I'll probably get more into it. But it is definitely an interesting idea. I got it like for 20-some bucks or something like that. So I know I was never going to pay $60 for it. And to be quite honest, if you really kind of compare it to other Far Cry's, even though it takes a different stance on the series, it's kind of lacking in ways, you know, because obviously with like advanced technology in the future or present or whatever, you're going to end up having more access to things like vehicles and weapons and all of this and that. But obviously it's taken more of like a melee approach. Yes, there is also a ranged approach as well, especially with you throwing spears and shooting arrows and whatnot. And like I said, with the bombs and the, I guess, slings also. I haven't really gotten that far into it. I really don't know what type of percentage I am through, but I'm trying to do as much as I can, you know. And honestly, I mean, it is holding my attention, but just little by little as I go onward through it. The next one is Transformers Devastation, and honestly, I have been wanting to get this for a while. I actually ended up renting it at Redbox. Yeah, it was at Redbox. I believe it was Redbox. Anyways, but I got it. Basically, I got a free rental from Redbox. I ended up renting like a couple, 2 or 3 movies or something. Like, would you like to get a free game for a night? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be good, because I ended up looking to see what they had, and it was one of these. So I played it for a good bit, got a save file, ended up keeping it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this one. It's really cheap. And I got it for like $14 or something like that. I think 14, 15, 16, somewhere within that range. But it was definitely pretty cool. And I went back from off of my save, and it is definitely, and Platinum is the one that does it, you know, so it's definitely a fun title for sure. I haven't really got back into it much as I've been playing other things, but I'm glad that I got it at a really cheap price, and I played a little bit when I ended up getting it, but it's definitely fun. And honestly, I'm not a Transformers fan, but knowing that it's made by Platinum and knowing how it has that cel-shaded look and knowing how pretty it looks and how really good it plays and all of that, I definitely just had to go ahead and get it. So I was definitely glad that I had picked it up. So anyways, the next one that we're going to end up looking at is Maximo Army of Zen. This is actually one of the games that I have been playing, as a matter of fact, on my PlayStation 2 recently, and honestly, it's really, really, really awesome. I've never had the second one before. It doesn't have the booklet in it. And that was a PlayStation 2 era, oopsie boopsie. But yeah, it's definitely really awesome, without a shadow of a doubt. I have the first one as well. I haven't really got too far into that one, but I've been playing the second one, because I also ended up getting some component cables, as a matter of fact, for my PlayStation 2. I got them for like $3 or $4. And anybody who says that you need a specific type of TV to play your PlayStation 2 on, you don't need to do that, honestly. If your HD TV has the ability to use component cables and you have a channel that shows up with components, buy component cables, use that on your PS2, and it looks like right as rain. I mean, it really does. Obviously, that's as best, from everything that I've heard, that's as the best images you're going to get with your PlayStation 2 on your TV when it comes to your component cables. You know, that's what I've heard. Don't get in the comments and be like, no, there's a better way that you can do it. Well, you find a better way and put it in the comments and let me know, and then maybe I'll check it out. But from everything that I've heard about component cables on an HD TV, obviously on the component channel, ends up actually making it look like it would on a regular TV, except the image actually looks better. It doesn't look like it has that smeared, shitty, snotty look in between, you know, the screen. Obviously, the graphics in the PS2 were great, but it was just that smear type of look on a regular TV set screen that was just kind of You know, nowadays we look at it and we're just like, man, that was kind of bad. Back then we didn't really know any difference, but now when you're comparing today's technology with TVs and, you know, yesteryear or whatever, it's night and day. It really is. So if you really want to play your PlayStation 2, get component cables. You can get them dirt cheap. Like I said, I got mine off eBay for $3 or $4. Go ahead and plug them up. You're good to go. No problem. You don't need another TV, because I actually had a really big-ass TV that I got for free from a friend of mine that I'm going to get rid of, because he didn't use it for forever. And I think it probably just decided to take a shit on me and just like, you know what? I'm not really going to work for you anymore. Screw you. So it just messed up. It didn't really mess up per se, but it's not working for what I got it for, and I just got it for free. So, I mean, I'll get rid of it somehow, you know, because it's just taking up space. Now they have the component cables with the HD TV. It's a no-brainer. The next one is Virtual Quest. And like I mentioned before about fighting games, I actually had been into the Virtual Fighter series back in the day just as well. Heard bad things about this, heard good things about this. Got it for really cheap, for like a few dollars or something. Couldn't pass it up. It's like basically, I guess it's like basically kind of like in action. Yeah, it's like a traditional action RPG, something like that, with you dealing with the virtual fighters, I guess, as your trainers or something. But haven't really had a chance to get into it with all these stack of games and things that I got going on. Played very little of it, but I'm definitely going to want to dive into it again at some point. Barbarian on PS2. Now, as you can see, this is actually one of the blue discs, as a matter of fact, as you can see there, which came out, I believe, when the PS2 first started to come out, and then they switched over to just like regular, excuse me, like DVD format or whatever it was. I'm going to have to kind of look into this and see if maybe if I could play this on a different PS2, because I got this for like $2 or something. Either play it on a different PS2 or see if I can try to play it again, because when I ended up loading it up and started playing it, because I've heard some of the blue discs are actually kind of faulty on some of the older systems of the PS2, which I think is bullshit. But I tried to play it, and it crashed on me. It just like crashed on the screen. Like it looked like it was about to load up, and it didn't. And there was just a constant stream of music that was kind of looping over and over. I was like, oh shit, don't tell me this damn thing crashed. So I haven't actually had a chance to get back into it again and start giving it a go again and playing it, you know. But from everything that I've heard, it's honestly like a really good, like a brawler type of game, and there's like an interesting story mode, and the different characters have different backstories, and there's different like I guess it's kind of like in a way like it's action. Well, it's not action RPG, but it's almost like it's a fighting game, but it's kind of like a bit of a level up system, I think. I don't really know. 300 different story branches. Well, shit. Yeah, 10 different quests with their own massive storyline and quests, 10 huge multi-level fighting arenas. Yeah, here it is. RPG upgrade system, depending on the experience earned. Upgradable attack and magic combos, interactive environment. Almost every object can be picked up and thrown depending on your lifting ability, or thrown used as a weapon, including with other characters. Sophisticated tutorial, whatever the fuck that means. Additional mini quests and with new fighting rules. Multiplayer combat, 1 to 4 players, and 2 to 8 characters can be played at the same time. So yeah, it definitely seems like it's one to check out if the damn thing would work like it should. So I'm going to have to check into it again. If not, I'll end up trying to find a real dirt cheap freaking PS2, especially if it's a fat one, because those fat ones are probably the main ones that they would end up working with those, because those were like the word for I can't freaking talk. That was like the first systems that ended up coming out was the fat ones. And let's see, the next one is a couple Xbox 360 titles, and that is Fable 2 and Fable 3. Might as well go ahead and put them both up there because they're both in the same series. Fable 2 gets a heck of a lot more love, so I've heard, than compared to Fable 3. 2 gets more than 3, but I don't care. I played both of them, and honestly, I like both of them, so whatever. Definitely going to end up getting back into these again, knowing I'm a big RPG fan. Got really far in Fable 2, and I think the reason that I didn't even get any farther was because the freaking my 360 that I had at the time some odd years ago ended up crapping out on me with a freaking red ring of death. So yeah, that's why I didn't get any farther into it. And then when I started playing Fable 3 was when I ended up getting my 360 Slim, and then I just wasn't into the 360 anymore. Sold my 360 and used that money towards games, but never really got that far into 3. Got much farther into 2, though, that's for sure. The next one that we have here is Star Fox Zero. Obviously, I ended up mentioning about this before, you know, so I really don't have to go into it too much, but I'll go ahead and open the box here. I haven't even opened, well, never mind, I have opened. I didn't even think that I even opened up Star Fox Guard, which is just pretty much like a free little mini game that they ended up adding with it. You can end up buying it separately, I think, for like $4 to $5 or something like that, but I've heard it's not really anything to write home about. But obviously, there goes the case there with Star Fox Zero, and there's no disc inside of it. It's actually in my Wii U, so there's no reason for me to even open it, because, you know, there's not going to be a booklet in there. And I don't think I ended up showing this last time. If I did, please forgive me, but that is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, and obviously this is a mix match of Fire Emblem and what is it, like Shin Megami Tensei or Persona, something like that, one or the other, I don't really know, but it's really awesome, really fun, really cool, just another JRPG in another, in my stack, I guess you could say, of all the RPGs that I have. It's just really awesome. Kind of takes a little of a J-pop vibe to it. Look at that disc, man. That disc is just badass. I really do like that. And remember, kids, you better recycle, or otherwise we're going to end up living in the wasteland like in Fallout 3 or 4 with a whole bunch of trash laying everywhere because you didn't recycle. You didn't recycle. So that's why the apocalypse happened with the nuclear fallout, you dumb sons of bitches. Anyways. But yeah, it's it's honestly really cool. I really do like it. I have to turn off the voices because it's all in Japanese, so I just read the dialogue. I don't listen. Some people, especially when it comes to anime, some people are like, oh well, I watch sub because I can't stand English voices, or other people say, oh, I'll watch dub because I don't want to read text on the screen. Well, I want to watch dub. I would like to have the voices in English. Actually, I think it would be good if Nintendo ended up releasing a patch for English voices. I would definitely end up downloading it so I could go ahead and hear the voices. But when it comes to that, man, I can't stand listening to Japanese like an anime and all that, especially with anime because it's animation. I want to see the pretty animation. I want to see the action. I want to see everything that's happening on screen, the characters and all that. I don't want to read the text on the bottom of the screen. That's just like, I don't want to read freaking what they're saying. I want to see it and hear it. So I stay away from sub animes, and obviously with games, you progress it as you want to, so you just press a button and read the dialogue just like you would in, say, old school RPGs. So I just turn the voices off and play it like that. But anyways, now I'll go ahead and get to the graphic novels. There's only a few of them here, but I'll go ahead and zoom through them. The first one here is actually Conan the Slayer. Honestly, I've kind of been into Conan, especially with the older movies, and this is the very first issue, and it's honestly really awesome, to be quite honest. I'm really interested to know where the second one is going to go without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, Aliens. I guess they're coming out with a new Aliens comic or something. Still looks badass though, but yeah. Definitely get, because I'm getting more and more into graphic novels and comics that I had before in the past. I was more into graphic novels and comics like back in the late 90s, but now I'm getting more into them again. The next one, I think I might have showed the first one, but these are the next two issues of dealing with the Dungeons & Dragons universe, Shadows of the Vampire, and they have variant covers as well. But I didn't get those, obviously, because I'm not buying the same damn book just to get a different cover. But it's a really interesting series, without a doubt. Love the art, especially in Conan the Slayer and also Shadows of the Vampire. Love the art in those and the story and the characters and all of that. So definitely looking forward to the next issues as well. The next one, considering the fact that I also end up putting up a video on this channel dealing with some books in the Dragon Age universe. Here's another one here, so go check that video out as well. It's called Dragon Age: The Silent Grove. Yes, it's nothing hard. It's nothing hard. That came out wrong, but I don't give a shit, because that's what it is. It's nice, it's hard, and it's pretty just as well as you can freaking see. And honestly, like, this is just pretty much kind of just fan service, side story stuff when it comes to these things. I'm a fan and I want to check it out. It's nothing really to write home about. The story isn't anything to write home about. That's how I kind of feel when it comes to all these games and movies, that they have like little side projects like, oh, here's the comic, or oh, here's a side story, here's a prequel, or whatever. All the ones I've read haven't really been much of nothing. It's just like, oh, we're just going to add this extra fluff here just to give you a little bit of a taste of what the future is going to be like for the series or something like that. But whatever. The last one here, I don't even know if I showed you this or not. I probably did. If I did, forgive me, but that's Witchblade, Takeru manga. Yes, I said manga. See, I didn't say manga. I said manga, the way it was supposed to be pronounced. So don't be jumping on my ass about it. Manga, manga, manga. I didn't say manga, 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 mango, manga. Okay, anyways, I'm stopped now. It's called Witchblade Takeru, or something. But anyways, I'm about a quarter of a way through it, I think. I'm not even halfway through it because I've been reading this other stuff as well. So yeah, but the thing is though, is they actually ended up Americanizing it, or Westernizing it, if you want to call it that way, where they ended up having you read left to right instead of the traditional Japanese way of reading right to left. And yeah, it's all pretty and nice and all that stuff, and it's in color as well, which I like color. I want it in color. I want it in living color and all that stuff. I just don't want to read black and white all the time. It just really seems like it doesn't have much of an effect on me as it would to just freaking see it in color, for God's sakes. So anyways, I believe that's all of it. If it isn't all of it, well, too bad, so sad, tough titty, said the kitty. If anything else pops up that I happen to end up missing out on, then I'll just put it in another pickups video. But anyways, I'll go ahead and end this like I always do, and I hope you guys enjoyed the pickups, and definitely check out any of those things that I just mentioned, guys, if you're interested. And like I mentioned before, Definitely check out the PlayStation TV. It is a great device. I honestly really like it. I don't regret it one bit in getting it at all. It's awesome. It really gets me to play on my Vita games that can actually play on it. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention, you can also end up playing downloadable PlayStation 1 titles and downloadable PlayStation Portable titles. So that just enhances the games that you can play on it. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get trophies and all this and that, but it's taking it from the small screen and putting it on the big screen. So there you go. All well and good. Which I actually need to get to that. I need to put some of my downloadable PlayStation Plus titles onto there so I can play them on there. So yeah, I don't know why I'm still doing this. I guess I'm trying to think of something else to say, but it's all well and good. But yeah, so it's just enhancing your Vita experience, I guess you could say, along with having downloadable PlayStation 1 and PlayStation Portable titles and with Vita games that actually work on there. So this is a long, good God almighty, I've been talking for 34 fucking minutes. But anyways, I'll go ahead and end this now. Later, taters.